And so we tackle another review on another Gerber knife. Now this one is one of those US made Gerbers because I've learned something over these years. If you're going to get a Gerber, please make sure it's made in the US because it definitely will be better quality. The Chinese made ones just don't seem to hold up like these American made ones. Now definitely the US made military grade are just way better than any of these designs. But this knife here, in particular, is meant for police or fire and rescue, and it's a really nice knife. Now, it's a Gerber, American-made as I keep mentioning, but there's something that separates this one from other American-made Gerbers. All the other ones that I've reviewed, either American-made, come with a 420HC in the inexpensive lines, or, I'll just set that right there, or in the high-end lines, it's been the S30V steel, which I absolutely have fallen in love with. This is a 154 cm stainless steel. So that is true American steel that is a rock-hard, fantastic steel. I love 154 cm. It's on some of the higher-end knives that I have. It's up there with my preferences as far as S30V and 154. So two of my favorite steels. This knife right here shares a lot in common with its cousins throughout the line. It is the glass-filled nylon handle with the molded rubber injected, I guess you could call it insert. Now, this knife, I'm going to get nitpicky because I've done it with the Gerber order, but I just wish that I couldn't get as much pinch. I get it. Okay. It's glass-filled nylon. Let's just say it's a polymer handle, and it's got this cool rubber-injected coating or molding on it. It's going to have some give. Now, it's not as bad play as I get in the Gerber order, but it is a little bit. Now, the Edict in green is the newest one. There is, of course, the all-black that comes with the black blade. But if you know me, I'm going to look for satin blades because I prefer a satin blade. And this one does not have any of the aggressive cutouts in the blade or anything. I mean, it's a fine edge. It is a harpoon style top, you know, false edge. This isn't sharp at all. It's got the thumb assist. It is the lock back, but it's only a mid back. It's not a full back. And man, it's pretty stout. You can hear the lockup on it, and you can see the action. I mean, the action on it's pretty tight. I haven't worked with this knife a lot. I just recently acquired it. I got it for $50. Normally, they're about $64 to $65 on the websites after shipping. But I happened to hit this one on a deal for $50 shipped 2-day overnight, or I should say second day. I couldn't pass it up. I've been looking for this knife, so to find it on sale and to find it with second day shipping, I had to jump on it. Now, blade length. It is a larger blade. It's 3.6 inches, giving it an overall length of about 8.5 inches. The weight on it, though, is pretty light. It's about 3.5 ounces. And so for a large knife, you know, with a 3.5 inch blade at 3.5 ounces, it's because of the handle. That glass-filled nylon with the rubber molded overlay turns out pretty good. When you put this thing in your pocket, it's got a fairly deep carry. You can see how far it would go down into the pocket. It leaves a little bit of the butt of the knife out, but you could put a lanyard in there, and that would be kind of cool on this knife because it would come out of the pocket easier. It's thicker than the Gerber Edict, or the other Gerbers that are similar to the Edict. It's a little bit larger in every sense of the word compared to the other Gerbers in this family. The Order, the Commuter, the US-1. This is a pretty cool knife. Now, retail, $88. I don't know if I'd pay $88. I would pay $88 if instead of being just a polymer handle, if it did have some type of substantial inlays in there. or if it were an aluminum handle knife or stainless steel. I'd prefer an aluminum because the whole goal of this one is to be lightweight and an everyday carry and still be large enough to fit into your hand with gloves on. And you can see that the choil here is got texturing to it. That's nice, but it's also meant to fit a full-size glove going in there. So the harpoon top could actually be a choke up assist on this one, or it's got rubberized jimping, which you know, if you're gonna have jimping, the rubberized is cool for having a grip, but the life expectancy of this knife is going to be substantially less than if this were actually milled stainless or aluminum. So just one of the things to consider. That's probably why it's a $50 knife and not a $150 knife. It's the simple things like that, but Gerber's trying to stay inexpensive while maintaining a US quality and a cool look. So the green on the black, you know me, I'm going to find the ones that are the little bit different color pattern. Thumb studs on it are real nice as well. They seem to match the steel, so it almost makes me feel like the thumb studs themselves may be 154 cm. If they are, that's one of the coolest things I've seen on a knife in this price range. The blade, it's pretty sharp. I mean, I shaved hairs on my hands right out of the box, but 154 cm, I could sharpen it right up and it would stay that way. So Gerber did a good job with this one. They took a few of the things that maybe on the Gerber order I wasn't quite happy with. That's just me. Of course, they didn't listen to me, but they might have listened to other people or looked at their design studio, made it a little bit thicker, made it a little bit more robust as far as the structure of the handle. Nice lockback system on this one that's got a really good solid lockup with zero play, and they went with a longer length in the blade. So all of that came together to make a pretty good quality Gerber EDC, and really geared toward people in the service field, that EMTs, police officers, firefighters, anybody that's going to need a knife to actually get down and work with, but they don't want to carry a $300 knife and lose it. If you get to a scene of an accident or in a crisis and you need to use a knife to do something like cut a seat belt or break into something or cut into something, this is something you're going to want to use. You know, you won't get heartbroken if it's lost, and it's really going to do well with a pair of gloves or in inclement weather, because if it's wet, it still is tacky with that rubber molded handle. So the Gerber Edict in green, 154 cm steel, paid $50 for it. If you can find it for that price and you're looking for one, I recommend this color over the all black, just because I'm more partial to it, and I don't like when the black coating starts to wear off. So just me, nitpicky things, but hey, that's what I do. I buy knives and then I nitpick a little bit. Again, if you can find it at that price, do yourself a favor, get one, and happy hunting. And I hope you find a Gerber that makes you happy. Thank you. Have a fantastic night.